Washington, Republicans have made a gentle, symbolic move toward reining in President Donald Trump on tariffs. But it's unclear whether they're willing to go any further than that. The Republican-controlled Senate voted 88-11 on Wednesday to pass a non-binding motion in favor of giving Congress a role in deciding on tariffs imposed under a national security provision of trade law. Republican Senator Bob Corker speaks to reporters as he heads to the weekly Senate Republicans Policy Luncheon on Capitol Hill on July 10, 2018 in Washington, D.C. Corker introduced a bill that would give Congress a vote on all such tariffs going back 2 years, which would include the steel and aluminum tariffs on Canada. Al Drago, Getty Images. Trump used the national security provision to impose his tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum, without consulting Congress, and he is threatening to use it again to impose tariffs on cars imported from Canada. It is rare for Republicans to take even the mildest of formal steps in opposition to Trump. The vote demonstrates the unhappiness of most congressional Republicans, who continue to favor free trade, with Trump's protectionist tactics. This is a baby step in a good direction, said Tennessee Sen. Bob Corker, who put forward the motion. Article continued below, but the next steps are not obvious. Republicans are wary of taking any substantive action against a president overwhelmingly popular with party voters. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has not been willing to schedule a vote on a bill from Corker that would give Congress a vote not only on future Section 232 tariffs but on all such tariffs going back 2 years, which would include the steel and aluminum tariffs on Canada. Corker had previously attempted to schedule a Senate vote on the bill by attaching it to another legislative matter, but he was denied consent by Ohio Democratic Sen. Sherrod Brown, who supports Trump's steel and aluminum tariffs. Corker's Wednesday motion simply asked members of a committee to grant Congress an unspecified role in determining the national security tariffs. The committee is free to ignore the request. 11 votes against the symbolic motion were from Republicans. One of the party members who voted in favor, North Carolina Sen. Tom Tillis, said he would not vote in favor of legislation saying the same thing, the Weekly Standard reported, because he does not want to limit Trump in negotiations. House Speaker Paul Ryan, who also opposes Trump's tariffs, made a similar remark on Wednesday, saying, "I don't want to hamstring the president's negotiating tactics. The motion is unlikely to do much to stop Trump from imposing his threatened auto tariffs, though it does suggest a certain growing concern among Trump-supporting Republicans in Congress," said Eric Miller, president of the Rideau Potomac Strategy Group, a U.S.-Canada consultancy. Article continued below. "I just don't see the numbers there to challenge the president's trade policy in a fundamental way," Miller said. "But it is what you could say, in the market sense, a leading indicator for the Congress being unwilling to necessarily accept the president's will on trade in perpetuity in the future if it doesn't go well." Arizona Sen. Jeff Flake called the vote on the motion a rebuke of the president's abuse of trade authority. Before the vote, he gave a Senate speech hailing Canada. "The president has abused Section 232 to impose tariffs on steel and aluminum, impacting our allies like Canada, Mexico, countries of the EU. Can you imagine being in Canada and being told that your steel and aluminum exports to the United States represent a national security threat?" Flake said. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau rightfully called the president's recent tariffs an affront to the long-standing security partnership between Canada and the United States, and he continued, "Kind of insulting," he concluded. "Canada has been our ally, our partner and our friend. And now they're told that their steel and aluminum exports to us represent a national security threat. That is an abuse of Section 232 of the Trade Act. I'm so glad that Congress is finally pushing back on this."